effective functioning? What specifically will you do? House Speaker?
Well, number one, we've obviously got to fund education, and the financial strains that have been on the state in the past 10 years impacted our ability to properly fund schools. A little over a year ago, some of my colleagues in the House invited me to come and meet a portion of the DPS board members, and I was encouraged to see that they were embracing Robert Bob and wanted to work with him, were embracing the change that was needed. So right after that, I went to meet with Robert Bob, and I said, look, I think we should reach out to some of these members from the board so that you're working together, because we anticipated this little issue that relates to academic control. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough of that partnership going on. But what we have to do as a state is make sure to put the kids first, and we have to get the adults out of the courts and out of fighting. Let's get the adults, the board, Robert Bob, let's get them in a room, let's get some oversight to that position he has, because right now, there's no really oversight for our emergency financial managers that schools related to DPS or our city. So I think we got to get our folks in the room, make certain the adults aren't getting in the way of the education for kids. Obviously, a lot of reforms needed for DPS, but it's going to be resources and good management. We'll be a partner to the city, because without access to good education, there's no future for our kids.
Congressman Hodgson?
In my office in Washington, I've got kind of a billboard of things that we're working on in Michigan. Some of you may have seen it. Someone visited my office in Detroit, and we were talking about another issue, and she said to me, Congressman, I don't like the last point on your board. She was cheating. She was looking at solutions for Michigan or issues in Michigan, and it says 1 out of 4 kids in Detroit graduate. She says, I don't like that point. I said, okay, what should it be? Should it be 1 out of 3? 1 out of 2? She says, no, I don't think it's that good. I said, okay, we're in agreement, because whether it's 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 4, it's not good enough. This is about our kids. This is a moral issue when we are failing this many kids in a city like Detroit. We cannot build a strong Detroit with that kind of performance. It's not about Detroit public schools. It is about the kids. What we need to build in Detroit is we need to support the efforts of Robert Bob to build a strong and effective Detroit public school system. But Detroit also has a history of a strong parochial school system. The Catholic schools served a mission and a function in this city. Many of them are now closed and gone. As governor, what I will do is I will work with Robert Bob and the mayor of this city to build a strong Detroit public school system, but also hopefully provide an opportunity for parochial schools to come back into this city and to move forward and continue to deliver the excellent education services that they have provided for years until the last, perhaps the last 5 to 10 years when they were priced out of existence.
Thank you very much. I would like to reiterate the speaker's point about the oversight that's necessary for a financial manager for the schools. We have very few financial managers for education, and Detroit has been the receiver twice. And the school board plays an important role in determining the academic understanding of our kids. We need to have somebody who is more concerned about teaching the children how to learn and creative thinking than focusing on tests. We need to have someone who understands that the subject matter is important and that their area of expertise is curriculum. They know how to hire individuals to give them guidance in establishing curriculum, and that is exactly what we need to have. If we're going to take away the power of the people to elect their school board and deal with the academic issues in the community, then we need to do it statewide. And the Speaker of Detroit is good for everybody.
Thanks. Well, I agree with what Alva said. I believe absolute power corrupts absolutely. I didn't invent that. But we need the proper accountability and control over any gubernatorial appointee. I was happy to hear the speaker say that he's for adequate funding for public schools, and hopefully now we'll be able to see that in action as well. Failure is not an option when it comes to our kids. Public education is near and dear to my heart. I'm married to an elementary principal. My wife is principal at Luton Elementary. We believe in public education. We eat, drink, and sleep public education in my house. And I plan as governor to launch a major assault on the dropout rate. Too many of our kids are falling by the wayside, and dropouts is what really, that's the common denominator for people that end up in prison. We're saying we're on the side of the road. Education is job one. Education is economic development. We need to stop the flavor of the month reforms that come out of Washington and out of the state capitol. We need to stop the unfunded mandates that come out of Washington and out of the state capitol. That is not helpful. We need to stop this up, and we need to get out of the way and let